Welcome to late night edition of Vlent with Steve the Missionary. It is the Monday of Holy Week, and I want to tell you a quick story that we tell in my family about the Monday of Holy Week. It is tradition in my family to go to Mass specifically on this day. Like the other days of Holy Week, whatever. But the Monday of Holy Week, you go to Mass, and that's because in Bolivia, we lived in La Paz, the capital city, where there's the cathedral. And these old school style cathedrals all have like individual side chapels. And these side chapels are usually like sponsored by people with the amount of money to do that. And we sponsored one of the chapels, and it was a chapel dedicated to Christ tied to the pillar, at the scourging of the pillar, El Señor de la Columna. And so it had like a really bloody old school Spanish style statue of Jesus tied to the pillar getting whipped. And on the Monday of Holy Week was like the day officially dedicated to that. So the statue would get taken down, cleaned, the chapel would get cleaned out, the statue would get moved to the front of the church. There'd be a mass dedicated to that specific devotion, and then outside the cathedral there would be a like a banquet set up for the poor. And we would do this every year to the point that we knew who was coming to the banquet, like we knew their names. And that was kind of just the family devotion for a long, long time. One year, this is the family tradition, the family lore, if you will. One year, my great grandpa, I think, was in charge of the food, right? So he was making sure everybody got the food. He said hi to all the people, greeted them, and he knew everyone that was there. And there was one guy there that he didn't know, and he saw this guy, and the guy picked up a loaf of bread and just ran away. And he wanted to like say hi to him, greet him in some way. Said, "Hey, stop!" And the guy went around the corner. My great grandfather followed him around the corner. The guy ducks, goes into the building, ducks around one more corner, and my great grandfather follows him around that corner and disappears. The guy's not there anymore. And there's a loaf of bread sitting at the foot of the statue of Christ at the pillar. And so it is family lore that Jesus himself visited us that day while we were feeding the poor. So I went to mass this morning on the day that Jesus upturned the temple, right? So that's it's an important day for me. So I made sure I got to mass today, and things like that. I hope that you have family traditions, or even just like days that you consider more important to pray than others, that aren't attached to the church. They're just attached to your family, your parents, your grandparents telling you that this day was special, this day was important. I think that's huge. I think that's absolutely monumental for faith and for families. So, and if you don't have it, build it yourself for your kids. All right. It is Holy Week, my friends. God bless.